welcome to the final video of the Essential Woodworking series. This is the pencil box, the sliding lid box, and last video we put the sliding lid in and we waited for it to dry. So just peel the tape off and it should come in and out nice and easy. Now, you know, some would argue the most important part, I probably would, is that we just need to make it look nice, and this is called the finishing stage. So at the moment, I'm sure you can see you can still see nails, there's pencil marks and everything in there. So what we're going to do first is deal with the nails. So you need to grab one of these. This is a nail punch. Basically, you put that bit on your work and you hit this bit with a hammer. So I like to wear glasses when I'm doing this, just in case. You put it right on top and then you mark it in. I've already done the other ones, but I just want to show you what it looks like. So they're actually depressed into the work. After you've done that, you grab some putty. I like to use my fingers. You can use this. This is called a putty knife. With the putty knife, you basically just get it on the knife and put it in the hole. But I want to show you just how I do it with my fingers because it's a lot faster. All I do is just grab a little bit like that. It's kind of like Play-Doh. Shove it in the hole. Clear off the excess with my finger, and then that's it. So just putting it in and putting it on like that. Now, I don't tend to worry about what's on the bottom. As long as I can't feel the nails, that's fine. If you can feel the nails, get the punch and punch them in, but only if you can feel them. If you can't feel them, they'll be fine. If you don't punch them in and you can feel them, they will scratch your table. All right, the next target for us is these pencil marks. So we've got the pencil marks here, and basically I'm just grabbing an eraser and erasing them. So for me, I don't want to see any pencil marks, not even a name, because I'll show you how to put your name on later. Or if you do have to write your name in pencil, just do it somewhere discreet. So basically, I've just erased as much as I can. We'll get the rest with the sandpaper, but just do your best. Probably would hope it would be a little bit better than that, but I've done a little bit there. I've already done the other side. So using your eraser, get all the pencil marks off. Once you've done that, it's time to sand it. And for sanding, we go into a separate area where we've got some dust controls. Okay, so this table here is a little bit different to the other tables in our woodwork room. It's basically a dust extraction, so it's like the head of a vacuum. It hooks up to a button that you press, and it sucks all the dust out. So it tries to keep the dust to a minimum. Now, for the purpose of this video, it's a little bit loud, so I'm not going to turn it on, but it is important to be conscious of the dust. And when you're in here, I'll show you how to turn it on, etc., etc. So, I'm just going to grab some sandpaper. Now, very quickly with sandpaper, you notice there's some numbers on the back. This one says 120, this one says 240. Look for the P and then the number if there's a few different numbers. And that just means the grit, so how coarse it is. The closer to 0, the more coarse, so the more rough, I guess. So you start with the one that's lower to 0. So if I've got 120 and 240, I'm going to start with 120. When you're sanding, always with the lines on the timber. So you'll notice that there's lines on the timber. They usually go long ways, not always, but usually. So that's the way you want to sand. I'm going to use a carpet tile here, just so I don't damage my work. And basically just start sanding. That's better. So just from that, you'll see that it looks a bit better. Pretty much the pencil marks are gone. I just need to do a little bit more there. The scratches are mostly gone. And that's because I've been using this coarse sandpaper. So this does the bulk of the work, the 120 or the lowest number sandpaper. Once you're finished with that, I'm not yet finished, I'm just quickly going to go around the top. So, not so worried about the bottom, but I don't want any sharp edges, so you have to go around the edges. Just quickly like that. To do the inside, it helps just take the lid out. If you've written stuff inside, you need to get an eraser and try and take it out, because you obviously don't want to see that. Put the lid back in. When you're working on it and you've made the lid, try and keep it in, because it just adds a little bit more integrity to the shape of the box. I mean, it's not a huge deal, but it's just a good habit to get into. I've got another scratch here, so I'm just going to sand that out. Okay, so make sure you take off all the sharp edges, it feels a little bit sharp. Once you're happy with it, like once you've got rid of the pencil marks, once you can't see the scratches, once the edges are round, then move on to a finer sandpaper. And you don't have to go too crazy, 120 and 240 will be fine. Just give it a sand. All right. Lastly, just here, can you see I've got a few little cracks there? This is the lid, so don't put any putty in here because that's going to move, but these two don't move, so I could put a little bit of putty in there to try and hide my scratches a little bit. Still got pencil marks there too. Alright, so once you're done sanding, there's something else we need to do, so we'll go back into the other room. I've got my box, I've sanded it, you know, the lid opens and closes, it looks really great. There's one last thing that I need to do, and that's put my name on it, because I would have sanded it off when I got rid of the pencil marks. So I would just put it discreetly on the back, and the way that I like to do it is with these letter punches. So I'm going to put Mr. Brown on this one, When you're doing this, just make sure that you do it on the side, because in the middle it's hollow, so it doesn't have the same effect as it does on the side. So just put it somewhere that's clean, and grab your letter punch and just run it like that. And where's the R? There it is. And the B. I like to use the top to try and keep them all in line, try and keep the side of the letter punch flush. Is that a W or is that a W? That's a W. That's a W. I think I did the wrong way too. And if you keep hitting it, like if I go tap, 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 it'll probably jump around and you won't get a clean, crisp letter. So, just so you can see, that's it there, Mr. Brown, that's me, and sliding lid box, finished. Thanks for watching, it's been a pleasure. Can't wait to see your pencil box. Excellent.